is both in Chinese and like Indian physics and
Stop the
spirituality.
cap.
Like, you treat your wife like a princess or a queen. You spoil her.
She swears she
You give her
dropping bars
stuff.
right
You
now.
just let her be able to relax. She gets into this divine feminine energy, this divine feminine aura. In return, she starts taking care of you in a much better way. She's so emotionally supportive of you because women are so strong in their EQ and how they can take care of men. And like that energy gets rewarded in the universe. It starts coming back to you. And I can say I'm like a case in point example. Like even before my husband really started making money, he always would find little ways to spoil me. Even if...
What's good, y'all? Your boy Akaash Simps. You can't call him Akaash Sing anymore. You gotta call him Akaash Simp. So Akaash Simp is back at it again. He tried to defend his girl, bro. Can you believe this dude? I can't, bro. Hey, let's get into it, y'all.
Yeah, keep going on this. So husband gets on steroids. He gets fit.
The husband just got really screwed in the whole process.
He's also kind of like a dumb seeming guy, easily manipulated. He's so in love with his wife. He's like so cucked out. He just goes along with everything she wants.
All right, so
it's like this dude just described himself, bro. That's why you can't listen to none of these influencers. You don't know what the fuck is going on behind the door, bro. Like, you can't take advice from these niggas if they're not showing you, like, day to day, like, infill footages, bro. Like, you don't want to just take your advice from anybody, bro. They don't know what the hell they're talking about, bro.
Akaash around 8 months ago. This guy has no self-awareness and is in complete denial about his relationship, even though he basically just described it there. You know, his wife is manipulating him like crazy, and he's so obsessed with her and wants to be with her so badly. He'll put up with her humiliating him every day, making him look like a cock, spending all his money and destroying his career. And she has no shame about it. You know, the whole internet is cooking her husband because she keeps disrespecting him. And it seems like she couldn't care less, and honestly probably loves it.
Bro, she's
like,
a narcissist, bro.
Fuel to the fire every day. It's brutal. There's too much to even keep up with. I mean, like this tweet says, his wife has done more damage to him than any enemy ever could.
Yeah,
like,
hello Yassine is right about that. I'm not gonna lie.
Doubled down and just said all her haters are jealous, broke losers. And she also had the audacity to say Akaash spoiling her and spending a ton of money on her has had the best return on investment. She claims it makes his life...
What a narcissistic shit to say, yo, you spending your money on me is the best investment you ever made. What is he getting in return? Like I said in the previous video, I'm willing to bet money, bro, she doesn't give this man sucky sucky or tuggy tuggy. If she's talking about how he smells and she can't stand that he stinks and stuff, like, bro, she's no way she's putting her mouth down there, bro. I don't even gonna lie to you.
Her more supportive of him, probably because it just keeps her from throwing a temper tantrum.
She probably get this man pussy like medicine. like little by little. Like here you go, bro. Here you go, Simp Annie.
So the gaslighting here is on another level. You know, Akaash has spent so much money on her, and in return, she's ruining his career. You know, she humiliates him every day. She constantly makes fun of him. She says he smells bad. She won't kiss him on the lips. And she even hits on and fantasizes about other guys.
Like a homeless man is crazy.
I mean, she has been so disrespectful to Akaash, but yet...
I understand this dude is Indian, but like a homeless man? So what did you do to fix that? What did you do to help him? He spent all his money on you. You can't help him with his hygiene. You can't help him become a man that you want. He's tolerating you. I mean, it seems like he like it. It's not like he's tolerating you. He's living with you.
She still has the nerve to go on her podcast and talk about how him spending a ton of money on her has been the best investment for him. And she really acts like this is a legit theory. Like the more money you spend on your girl, the better your life will get. And she seriously says it's supported by Chinese physics. So she just sounds deranged.
Chinese physics?
Having to listen to this every day, it's probably absolute torture. Like, no wonder this guy can't think straight. His brain is probably fried from this shit.
Because, like, where the fuck has chivalry gone? Yeah, where has chivalry gone? Like, why do these men who make $60,000 a year talking about gold diggers, you don't have any gold to dig? Because the guys that are actually in the 1% tax bracket, they want to do like the things that my husband and Nav are doing. They want to take care of women. They don't want us to be stressed. They want to be in our divine, they want us to be in our divine feminine energy. I said that investing in your wife is the biggest ROI that you'll ever have. Investing in your wife is not a financial burden because in Eastern physics, this is both in Chinese and like Indian physics and spirituality.
Stop the cap.
You treat your wife like a princess or a queen. You spoil her.
She swears she dropping
her
bars
stuff.
right
You
now.
just let her be able to relax. She gets into this divine feminine energy, this divine feminine aura. In return, she starts taking care of you in a much better way. She's so emotionally supportive of you because women are so strong in their EQ and how they can take care of men. And like that energy gets rewarded in the universe. It starts coming back to you. And I can say I'm like a case in point example. Like even before my husband really started making money, he always would find little ways to spoil me, even if it didn't cost that much in the beginning. And now like we've gone from like him buying me like AirPods or like Nike shoes to now like spending so much money at Miu Miu or Cartier or whatever. And I'm not saying that to be braggy. I'm saying that I've seen this principle like really, really work. And I truly believe that like a man that takes care of his wife is like blessed by the universe.
Yeah, I wonder why she would think that. Like, this lady's just a professional gaslighter. I mean, she's proven the exact opposite of that theory. Akaash spent so much money on her, and she's just making his life a living hell. She's basically
She's speaking at like 6 red flags a minute.
While still spending all his money, and Akaash is just sitting back.
Wait, what did I say?
Down.
Comedian Akaash Singh's wife Jaslyn goes off on all the broke men criticizing her and claims that she's actually a great wife. Jaslyn also calls out Red Pill influencer for being insecure unlike her husband. Beta!
To try to launch her own career while still spending all his money, and Akaash is just sitting back.
Bro, I could just imagine she's manipulating the fuck out of that dude right now, bro. She's probably in his ear like, don't mind them. You're a strong man. You don't need to listen to them. You're not a beta like them. Like you're a strong alpha male that does what his wife tells him to do. Like what? Oh my God, bro. This bitch is losing it.
Like when all this stuff was exposed, they could have gotten ahead of it if his wife publicly apologized to Akaash for disrespecting him and just said she's being sarcastic or doing a character or playing things up for attention, because there were some people defending her by saying that. And Akaash probably wishes she did that, but of course he has no say in that relationship.
No cap though. At first I thought she was just rage baiting though. I didn't know these was like serious actual takes that she actually believes, bro.
Obviously, if she walked things back, then it would ruin the career she's trying to build off of disrespecting him. So of course she doubled down and said she's just being herself and she's being open and free, and she brags about how many followers she has.
And like how they say like to be cringe is to be free. Like, okay, if you think I'm cringe, okay, to these red pill guys or these brown girl haters that think I'm cringe, I'm free though. I'm being myself, and I have 160,000 followers now. I only started posting last year. Like whatever you think, like that's good fucking growth.
And Akaash addressed the controversy too.
Bro, the selfishness in what she just said. I have 160,000 followers. Yeah, from bashing your husband. He's like the one with the main income. Now you're messing his stuff up. You're messing his pay up. Now he can't even talk like a alpha male and shame other men for loving their wife because he's doing the same thing. He's been exposed. How is he gonna make the money now? He doesn't have no original jokes. I've never heard an original joke from Akaash. All I see is crowd work. Him trying to act like he's this cool dude, like negotiating people relationship. The one clip I seen from Akaash was him like telling this dude find a girl for another dude and make him kiss her. Whatever, bro. I never seen no original content from this man. How is he supposed to walk in his content so freely with us now knowing that he's a fraud? That these things are not true. You can't shame other men anymore because we know you are a cuck. We know you are a beta.
One of his shows, and of course he's just simping out for her, which I get, it's his wife and he wants to defend her, but she would never do the same for him. I mean, like I said, she could have tried to walk things back.
She only cared about her 160,000 followers.
Wanted her to do, but she doesn't give a shit about what he says. So this guy's down bad. I mean, the way his wife talks about him compared to the way he talks about her, it's just sad to see. I mean, he tries to tell this story to prove that she's not a gold digger by talking about how she was with him through everything and she even stuck by him when he went broke. But it turns out he's leaving out some parts and he's exaggerating to try to make her look better, because she tells a different story. Akaash is like, I went broke in 2018 and she stuck by me. But she
when
said
did they get married?
Left him and went to India when he went broke. So of course he left that part out. And then also he said when they first started dating, he wasn't making any money. But he's admitted before he was making 6 figures and he was on some MTV shows. So he wasn't making a ton of money, but he was doing all right and he was getting publicity. But then he said the shows were canceled, and in 2018 he barely made any money, even though him and Schultz had started flagrant at that point and Schultz's career was really blowing up. So even though Akaash didn't make much money that year, he knew that podcast was going to be successful and he'd be making money from it at some point. But in the meantime, because his wife or girlfriend at the time kept spending all his money, he didn't have any savings and he couldn't afford his apartment and he went broke, which he claims she stuck with him through all this. But she has a different story, of course, and hers sounds much more believable, you know, because it just sounds like Akaash is doing whatever he can to defend her and make it seem like she's not a gold digger. So of course he's going to exaggerate and embellish this story. I mean, when he starts this, he even says he's never told his wife this story and she has no idea about it, which is really strange because it's about her. So I don't know how she wouldn't be aware of it if she lived it. And Akaash just makes it seem like it was this rags to riches story and his girlfriend was always by his side and she was with him through thick and thin. But in reality, when they met, he was doing all right for himself. He's making good money. He was on TV. And then he had one bad year where he didn't bring in much money and she freaked out and left.
These narratives, people calling your wife a gold digger and a whore and all these other things, it's a shitty thing. So I'm going to tell one story that I have never even told her. Honestly, she has no idea of this story. My wife and I met in 2014. I was not making much money. I was getting $25 a night doing stand-up. I was on MTV shows that paid dog shit money. If she was a gold digger, I didn't even have 10 to get the bitch, to be honest. But then in 2018, I went flat fucking broke. 34 years old, I probably made $4,000 that entire year. And we couldn't even afford the living room we lived in New York City. We had to move out of that apartment and move to New Jersey. And what's even sadder than moving to New Jersey is I had to save up money to move to New Jersey. So we had to stay on her friend's couch for almost a month. We were basically homeless for a month. So I could save money to move to New Jersey. And I remember the night before we went to the couch, we had to stay in our apartment illegally. We were supposed to have been out by like 12 p.m. We moved everything out. We didn't have a place to stay, so we had to stay there that night. It was just me and her sleeping on a hardwood floor. I'm 34 years old. She's 25 years old. I'm looking at this girl like, man, you could go be with an Indian who's a doctor, like a real Indian. You're a beautiful girl. You have so much ahead of you. Me, I don't know what my life is going to be. I'm 34. I'm fucking broke. This dream might not ever happen, but I'm too fucking moronic to quit. And I have nothing to give her. It's just a light jacket. It's like October. We have nothing. So I hand her the
How
jacket,
old is Akaash?
And she said, what's this for? I said, you can use that as a pillow. And then she goes, well, what are you going to use? And I said, I'll figure it out. She handed me back the jacket. She goes, you take this. And then she laid with her head on my chest and her arm around me the entire night. And I remember thinking in that moment, this is why I haven't shared this with her, because I remember thinking, I don't know if I'm going to be able to marry this girl because I'm so broke and I'm in such a bad place and it's a dark fucking time in my life. Beta! But I know I will never find a girl that loves me this much ever again, and I will never find a girl who rise from this hard.
Loving this much? May that love never find me, bruh.
So he's trying so hard to make it seem like it's this wholesome story and she stuck by him the whole time. She saw the potential in him when no one else did. But it turns out, according to her, when the money dried up, it caused a ton of fights. She got really stressed out about it and she had a giant fight with his mom and then left to India. And then it sounds like once Flagrant started a Patreon and Akaash started making money again, Akaash went running to India to simp for her again. So at his lowest point, she just...
You know, by the time he visited India, the podcast was already making money. She broke up with him when he went to broke. And a few months later, when the podcast started making money again, that's when she came back. He's in another podcast that she wasn't pleasant during that time. He accepts that she was bitchy and passive aggressive and fought with his mom. Like in all, Akaash has they slept together on a wooden floor. Like, what was she gonna just do? Just walk away in the middle of the night? This guy's playing mind games on himself. She dumped him when he was at his lowest, probably for the better too. He could focus on getting the podcast and his life back together. BCS, this succubus left him.
Made his life even more stressful and then left him.
Had like 7 MTV shows. I wasn't making crazy money. I was making like low 6 figures. But my girlfriend at the time, she moved into our place, and then all of a sudden, end of 2017, all those shows started suddenly getting canceled one by one. I'm going broke. So 2018, we're doing Flagrant. My wife, financially anxious person, is like, what is going on? Like, we're talking about getting married?
She's a financially anxious person.
I don't have an answer for her. I'm like, this flagrant thing, I think, I believe in this, I believe in this. Then I start wondering, like, am I just saying that because that's all I have left? And then luckily we started the Patreon because I went so broke we had to. No, Andrew was doing great. Andrew was starting to blow up, to be honest with you. His
started to dry up. He was kind of aging out of the MTV bracket, and he wasn't really getting any attention from the industry. So he was pretty much losing all his income. And at the same time, I was working a really toxic job with like a toxic manager and like working till 2 in the morning. And it just caused a lot of stress on our relationship. Everything came to a head when my mother-in-law came to visit us. And I was being very distant because of everything we were going through. Akaash was very stressed, and I think she kind of internalized it. Like,
I mean, to be fair, financial instability will cause like some type of turmoil in a relationship. So we don't know the full story. I mean, now that people are bashing her, it looks even worse looking like from that lens and that perspective. But I think in any situation, if there's financial instability, is going to be like some type of ruckus. Like there's going to be some type of unsuitability. But it's just the way this whole situation is playing out. It's like, damn, we can't help but think that, like, we can't help but think you left because he was broke. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that I was being bitchy towards her or passive aggressive towards her. It was a huge fight between all of us. Basically, Akaash did not defend me, and I was like, okay, I don't know if I can be in a relationship with this person anymore.
So after this, we both took a much needed break, and we just needed time to reflect on our own outside of the relationship. I took a trip to India with my mom for my cousin's wedding. Akaash needed to find his voice within the relationship and find his voice between his mom and me.
Finally, a couple months later, I just had this epiphany. We were still getting in fights, but Akaash went on his own trip to India, and my Nana Ji was sick in the hospital. He flew out of his way to go see him in Punjab. I woke up the next day seeing pictures of him, my Masi, and my Nana Ji, and I had this moment where I was like, okay, I know he's the right one. We're gonna make it through this.
And I guess she had a job at the time, so she could have kept working. They could have tried to save some money and just have been more frugal. You know, like if she's really as loyal and supportive as he says, she could have tried to hold down the fort till he got back on his feet. I mean, I'm sure he's still doing stand-up every night. It sounds like he's a hard worker, and he's doing the podcast, which was definitely going to pay off at some point. So if she really believed in him at the time, you would think she would try her best to help with the bills and support. But it's like that's never even an option, you know, because of course her motto is his money is our money and my money is my money.
His money is our money and my money is my money. So that is actually my number one. They must be generous with their finances from day one.
So once Akaash stopped earning money, it was over, and they're probably fighting every second of every day. And then the final straw was her getting into it with his mom. It sounds like they really went at it. And I bet his mom thinks she's an ingrate. Same thing as Schultz. Years ago, he got into it with her too. So all the red flags were there. I'm sure everybody warned him, but he didn't want to listen, and he still doesn't. So all he's going to do is cope. It's going to be wild. But let me know what you guys think, and make sure you subscribe and check out the Patreon. I've been covering Theo Von's downward spiral on there. He's starting to lose it. He's been hanging out too much with Candace Owens, and now he thinks everyone's after him. And he bombed his Netflix special, and William Montgomery bombed his show recently too, which he addressed. I'll be covering that on there, so make sure you check it out. It's definitely worth it. I'll put a link in the description.
Damn, what happened to Theo Von, bro? I've been seeing a lot of stuff about Theo Von as well. Like, what's going on with Theo Von, bro? I used to like his podcast and like some of his like the clips that were going around about Theo.